Welcome to a brand new episode of the post game. I am your host, Davion, and I'm joined by Oronde,
What's good?
Freddie,
What's up?
Matt.
What up?
Joining us for the first time, Kaden.
Yo.
And today we'll be talking. Well, how we doing, y'all?
Good.
Pretty good.
Can't complain.
Good.
Having a good day.
Good. Yeah. So today our topic of conversation, if you didn't know this, but Baker Mayfield was cut by the Carolina Panthers today, and we have a bunch of Carolina Panthers fans in here, and so they wanna let their opinions be heard about, in my opinion, the bum Baker Mayfield. So Freddie, you looking at me like I've said something wrong. So I'm sorry. I'm coming straight to you. What went wrong with Baker Mayfield in Carolina?
If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I just feel like it just wasn't a good fit, man. Like, because if you think, he was pretty terrible. But I feel like it wasn't just him. It's just like the whole offense has been pretty bad all year long. It's just like we'll get a couple games with like maybe one, like PJ Walker had a good game, and then Sam Darnold had a good game, but like other than that, it's just not a good year on offense.
What do I think?
Here we go, Matt.
I think he's honestly, I think he's done in the league. I don't even think anyone would want to pick him up. Yeah. He had 6 TDs, 6 picks, 57% pass completion. He only played 52% of the snaps, and he was 1-5 starting.
I don't think he's done necessarily. I think he'll get another chance. Trust me, there's other bums in the league that still get jobs each and every year.
That's true.
So okay. I don't think it's over.
I too do not think it's over.
Me either.
So I think, because I think I've had a pretty stern opinion about Baker Mayfield for his entire career. I think Baker Mayfield is a terrible quarterback. On a scale of 1 to 10, Baker Mayfield is max 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. He's inconsistent. He's inaccurate. He's short. And I'm not saying
who's worse than Baker Mayfield? Josh Rosen.
Who's worse, Baker Mayfield or Josh Rosen?
Oh, it is Josh Rosen.
Well, yeah.
Josh Rosen. Who's starting though? Josh Rosen isn't playing in the NFL or is starting in the NFL right now.
I don't even think he's on a team.
He's
in Atlanta, right?
Oh,
he was.
He's on the Browns practice squad.
That's the last whereabouts of him.
Wait, are you saying like that's the only quarterback that's like worse than Baker Mayfield?
No, I was just throwing out a random name to just throw off Davion on his hate train.
Hold on, let me finish. I'm not done yet. So I think when it pertains to a shorter quarterback, and we've seen them all, Drew Brees, Kyler Murray, just to name a few, they can get the ball over the line of scrimmage. And Drew Brees is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league and had a deep threat, and he could pick out defenses. Baker Mayfield, we saw he came into the league, but his problem is he can't evolve or grow in the position. That's his problem. He cannot elevate his talent. I mean, the amount of batted down balls at the line that Baker Mayfield has a game is utterly embarrassing and ridiculous. And
the line sucks.
I mean, I understand the O-line sucks, but they tried to fix it this season. Did they not?
It is
failed.
A lot better.
Right, but
it is not. No,
also,
it's actually a lot better.
His batted ball issue really started this year in Carolina. But also, I've seen a high volume of batted balls this season in general. Like Joe Burrow also has a lot of batted balls. He's like 6'3". The thing with that is that's on the offensive line coaches. As an offensive line coach, you should teach your offensive linemen. If you see your D line, like the person you're guarding jump, you're supposed to punish him. You're supposed to hit him in his gut and make him be like, I'm not going to jump again.
Like J.J. Watt's insane interception.
Yeah, like
T.J., not J.J.
And also, Freddie pointed out to me earlier, it's also Baker is a mechanical thing. Like you can kind of time and tell when he's about to throw the football.
Yeah.
I don't agree that Baker's a bad quarterback. I feel like he just hasn't had a fair shake of things. In Cleveland, it was more like he went from Hugh Jackson to Freddie Kitchens. The expectations got really high because they got Odell.
Kitchen's the GOAT.
Cleveland's still a mess, man. Like, the defense is supposed to be this top 5 defense that they can't play together at all ever.
That's true. They can't
And
tackle either.
Also, Cleveland's
Can't
a
tackle
poverty
for shit.
franchise. Like, Baker is by far the best quarterback that they've had ever.
And they had a washed up Carson Palmer.
Also, the problem with him in Carolina is just 2 words: Ben McAdoo. I didn't like that hire when they made in the offseason, and I still don't like that hire. Ben McAdoo wasn't a good coach for the Giants, and he's still not a good coach. He needs to be fired this season.
So where I hear you and I match the Ben McAdoo, I disagree with the point that he's had no help or stability. Well, okay, stability, okay, I get it. But he's had no help at all in his entire career.
I wouldn't say no.
I think that's blasphemy because, I mean, at the beginning of the season, Baker had a healthy CMC. Granted, Ben McAdoo's a part of that problem. You have DJ Moore, a receiver, that was barely utilized. I mean, I feel like the pieces of the offensive weapons. Let's say you put a Lamar with either these. Hold on, with any team that Baker's been on, what happens?
I don't think
Probably that
anything-
Browns team
They'd be
about
10
the
times
same
better.
about the same result, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, when has
You can
but
put
like,
a winning quarterback in a dysfunctional situation and it's still gonna be shit.
shit.
I mean,
yeah.
but when has Lamar
Like Brady in Tampa.
But when has Lamar had a number 1 wide receiver?
But Lamar.
I know he has Mark Andrews right now, but when has he had a number 1?
never. But Lamar
Exactly.
Also,
So you give him Odell Beckham.
But he's also, you can't compare Lamar to Baker
Baker.
fucking
I mean,
Mayfield.
you just threw out Josh Rosen. So why can't I do that?
I'm saying
Because-
about the same level of success for the same archetype of fucking player.
He was the
What are you
first thing that
talking
popped in my
about?
head.
Lamar, you have to stack the box because he can run. Baker, you're not really like he's not the most mobile quarterback. He can probably get you 4 yards with his feet if he has to, but he's not looking to run.
Okay.
The Odell thing, I felt like was just not like you saw it game in and game out. Like he was just trying to force the ball to Odell, get what the fans and what the organization wanted was Odell a lot of touches. And that just wasn't really working. Like that offense before Odell got there, that offense was clicking. Then
Yeah, because they
Odell-
were super run heavy.
Yeah, they were
so-
super run heavy, which also that is what helps Baker get into his groove. Like he's not. I'm not gonna sit here and say Baker's ever gonna be the superstar quarterback that's like supposed to be a number 1 quarterback, but he's definitely an above average quarterback. My thing is what's the difference between him and Jimmy Garoppolo? Not much. The only difference is
Jimmy Garoppolo's handsome.
That too. Jimmy Garoppolo he went from the Patriots, which is a well-run organization, then to the 49ers with a well-run organization, and Kyle Shanahan, who can basically make the scheme for a monkey to run that offense as long as you don't turn the ball over and you just.
But
know
that's
the
something Baker does. That's
That is
his
some-
MO.
That is something that he's done. But like I said, first year you have Hugh Jackson, he's coaching in the FCS right now. You have Freddie Kitchens, which he wasn't even the interim head coach when Hugh Jackson got fired. So I was never understanding that he never had a coordinator job besides that year, even in high school. Then he gets fired. Stefanski, which was the best season that Baker had, which is his 3rd year, comes in, and Stefanski's not that great of a coach. Like he's an average coach, but I don't think he's ever going to push a team past the like 1st round of the playoffs or 2nd round. And then they kind of he played 2021 hurt, like labrum in his non-throwing shoulder was torn. You just going through injuries the whole year trying.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you there. So because there's one philosophy I live by. If you're gonna play and you're gonna be on the field, I don't want to hear you complain about injuries. You can sit your ass down.
The problem with that is, regardless of what you think about their opinion or their injury status, it may be up to them, but they're also going to be pushed by team doctors, which is always a fucking failure. Like what
I
hurt
understand
Cam's
that.
career.
But if it's me, I mean, personally, like you have to look after yourself when it comes to these high contact sports like the NFL. Like, there's no way I'm not gonna allow you to say that. I'm just no way. I'm not gonna let you give the injury thing. But so because you said I could compare him to Lamar Jackson. So who would you rather have? Would you rather have Ryan
I'll compare it to
Tannehill?
Justin Herbert.
What about what?
I'll compare it to Justin Herbert. And the reason I brought that up is because Baker and Justin Herbert probably had the same rookie season, which Justin Herbert ended up breaking Baker's passing touchdown record. If Justin Herbert went and had the next 4-year run that Baker did, I don't think he would be out of the chart of LA that fast. I think that's because Justin Herbert's quiet. Baker's outspoken. He has all these commercials, so people, it's like a thing to hate on him easily.
That's not a bad point. I mean, but I feel like, but we've seen every single season. Here's the thing. We've seen every season that Herbert's been in the league that he's elevated or evolved from what he's done in the past. Baker's just been the same person every single season. Every single season. He's not
Herbert
changed at
also
all.
hasn't had the changes that Baker's had to go through.
I mean, what? He's had two different head coaches now?
2 in a 3-year
Herbert.
span. Baker had 4 in a 5-year span.
All right. I mean, it's still early, and we don't know how long that head coach right now in LA is going to be there. Like, he might be gone after this season, realistically. Granted, they've had a lot of injuries, but we never know. So, I mean, would you take Kirk Cousins or Matt Ryan over Baker?
Cousins, but not Ryan.
I would take Kirk Cousins.
I would take Kirk, but not Matt Ryan, though.
I'm straight on Matt Ryan. We don't need that.
So you're saying right now that Baker Mayfield is a better game manager than Matt Ryan?
Yeah, I'd take that.
Did
you see what he did last night?
Blasphemy.
No, I think
Matt Ryan's washed.
I think
Matt Ryan's washed as your guy is now requesting or just requested like to be cut. So okay,
Matt Ryan needs to be cut.
So moving on to that point, he's just got released. Where is he going? And will he play?
Sure.
I think he would be a great bridge quarterback to help the 49ers in their season because they can't play Lance and Brock Purdy's going to fall off a cliff like Wolford did in LA.
And just like we've seen with like Nick Mullins, I thought he was the second coming of Brett Favre, and he fell off very
that Nick
fast.
Mullins era was so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. You can't tell me it wasn't.
It was like he put up like
CJ Beathard.
Yeah, like we saw with CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins. We've seen them have these great 3-4 game stretches, and then they just fall off a cliff, and now they're just terrible. Is Nick Mullins even still in the league?
He might be on Jacksonville.
Last seen in Jacksonville, I think.
Yeah, and it's not happening with Brock Purdy. Like he did good for Mr. Irrelevant, but he kind of played a little bit as an average quarterback and below average quarterback if you rank him with the other NFL quarterbacks. So I feel like even if Baker doesn't play these next 2-3 weeks, whenever he gets signed, if he goes to the 49ers, I think he has to go there if they want a realistic chance of having a quarterback that has won a playoff game to try to increase their odds of making the Super Bowl.
Just saying, in 5 years, he's won 1 playoff game, been traded for dirt cheap, and now has.
If we want to play the resume game, there are worse resumes out there for
You're right.
quarterbacks of his stature. Because you bring up all this.
I'm just saying.
Extra
but when
shit.
it comes,
You bring
when
up
it
all
comes,
this extra
when it comes
shit.
to resume, I would rather start my rookie, who's been with the system and with the team all year long, than that bum.
Did you ever watch Brock Purdy?
Then you just have a failing franchise.
I mean, listen, you're down to your 3rd string quarterback at this point in the season. Your season's over. Let's be real.
But when you traded for Christian, you traded all the picks for Christian McCaffrey. You have this roster.
They're
like,
not going to roll
have-
over and just get
Yeah, you have to
curb
push.
stomped. And
I mean,
they have the defense that's better than Broncos defense, and they still can put up points with.
So what happens when Baker comes in? What realistically can he accomplish?
He does the same thing.
Probably
Jimmy Garoppolo does.
the play action as well as what Jimmy G did throughout the season. They just limit the playbook, but they could still find success because they're amazing defense and the supporting cast around him.
And I used to be a very avid Tua hater. I thought Tua was not going to prove it this year. But one thing that changed he's shown that he's the heartbeat of the Dolphins offense. But also one thing that changed my mind is that when I seen that Mike McDaniels say he went through and compiled 700 hours of Tua's highlights to be like, dude, you're not a bum. It was just the situation you were in.
Yeah.
I feel like if Kyle Shanahan, which Baker has that confidence, like he's never going to lose that grit to him. But I feel like Kyle,
feeling
That's
dangerous.
arrogance. That's what it's called.
yeah,
It's not arrogance.
it's not. It's confidence.
It's 100%
swag.
arrogance. There's no way you're gonna sit here and say it's not arrogance.
But
90% of what you do is arrogance,
can't
but we
say
don't
it's-
say that.
I can't say it's,
listen. You know what? You're 100% right. You can say it more often if you want.
I can't say it's arrogance. Kyler Murray has arrogance because he never had to really battle for anything. Baker
agree.
True.
I agree.
had to walk on to Texas Tech. They didn't want to give him a scholarship. He said, "I'm gonna go to Oklahoma and not even tell Oklahoma I'm coming." Wins the job after sitting out a year. Wins the Heisman. Becomes the first pick in the draft. Like shit that nobody ever thought he would be.
And he could
So
go
it's
to
more of a-
baseball if you wanted to.
So it's just a swagger to Baker that he's developed because it's always been everybody's been doubting me my whole
But
life.
here's the thing: the arrogance that he has turns into swagger, and then it backfires on him. He shoots himself in the foot every
That
single
does
week.
happen, yes.
And so I think what'll happen is he'll go to the 49ers. Maybe. I don't because we don't have no idea where he's gonna go, realistically. When does he clear the waivers? Tomorrow? Oh, Wednesday?
Tomorrow it would be
Tomorrow.
I
Or
think.
tomorrow? Yeah. Okay.
tomorrow afternoon. Maybe.
Whatever happens tomorrow afternoon, like it'll be I just don't think I think there's enough tape for me personally, there's enough tape for Baker Mayfield that shows bad than that shows good. That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't say that.
Freddie, you've been
Baker
really
is-
quiet today. So
What's up? What's up?
like do you think he has potential to lead that team if he goes to the 49ers to a deep run in the playoffs?
Like Kaden said, bro. What's so far off from Jimmy G and Baker Mayfield?
Handsome.
Like pretty well, sure, I guess. I guess Jimmy G's more handsome, I guess. But if you think about it, especially how they play it, they're game managers and they excel when they have a great run game. And that's exactly what the 49ers have. And I feel like how that scheme is set up, you can put almost anyone back there that won't turn the ball over and still be successful.
Hell, Bailey Zappi could go to Sanford right now, throw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Niners would win by 60 every single game.
But who's better,
Literally.
Bailey Zappi or Baker Mayfield?
Well,
Baker.
Bailey is.
I'm not answering that.
I'm taking Baker.
I'd take.
Hold on.
Off
Whoa.
of rec-
Whoa,
off of
wait,
recent-
wait,
off
wait,
of-
one minute. Wait 1 minute.
Off of recency bias, I'd say Zappi, but it's also
this
also
season the Bailey
and-
Zappi has been better.
Yeah.
Man,
But
But you
that's-
have like 4 games.
But
yeah,
that
he's
was
only
also
played like
but that was also a 2-game stretch. They tried to bring him in that game and he didn't look good anymore.
That's the thing with
He's-
like because you can't really just say one player is better than one player after one season in
I was
3
just
or
asking a
4
question.
games.
There's no
Not
film of
even
Bailey
full
Zappi.
season.
there's no real answer to this question. It seems rhetorical.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much. Well, as we begin to close, any final thoughts we got on this Baker Mayfield situation?
I
Um,
still think he would be a solid end of season fit for the Niners.
Okay,
Listen.
if he doesn't go to the Niners, is he going anywhere else, or is he just done?
I
I
don't
don't
think
think he's
Lamar is hurt enough for them to bring in anybody else but Brett Hundley. So
He would look nasty in that Ravens offense. I'm sorry.
He-
now. That would be disgusting.
God.
If
Trevor,
you
I don't
really
think-
think
Trevor's hurt
I can
down
see
in
like a
Jacksonville.
really bad team.
Trevor is
picking him up.
fine. He finished the game.
Oh, he
Houston
did?
or LA.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for the Rams. Yeah, yeah.
I don't
LA
even
would
think-
be.
But they're
Yeah, 'cause
bums. They're done
Stafford's
this
done.
season. They're done.
Yeah, and if he clears waivers, I don't think he would even go to the Houston to get what
No, he
brutally
wouldn't.
beat on.
No. And why?
I think he's done with shitty O lines.
But my
Yeah.
final thought is I feel like if he goes to the 49ers, I think at most I'll say bold take, hot take coming in, NFC championship appearance, as long as he can game manage and just do what he was literally coming out of college. He was marked as being super accurate and not turning the ball over. As long as he can go back to that and get in a rhythm and just hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey and whatever running back they have in that 49ers fucking farmhouse down there, he'll be fine.
NFC Championship game. Interesting.
Against
Well,
Cowboys, come on.
that's-
Cowboys are Eagles. I feel like the Super Bowl NFC representations coming out the NFCs.
That's a fair take.
I can make. I'm not mad at that.
Second or third would be would be Cowboys or Vikings because Vikings.
I was gonna
are
say
just-
yeah. I was gonna say Vikings.
It is their season to do something because you know how it rolls for them.
They just don't have a defense better than the 49ers, Cowboys, or Eagles. And their offense and those three offenses do the same thing the Vikings offenses do.
Might even make more plays, bigger plays.
So we're not talking about Seattle or Washington.
No.
But then think
Washington-
about it though. If you think about it with Seattle, like you can't really 100%.
Seattle's the sleeper team.
Because who would have thought they would be sitting here 6-4? or
I had
whatever
them
they are,
being
with
worse than
Geno
NFL
Smith?
again.
7-5. Yeah.
What was the great hot take you have, Freddie? Like Brady would make the playoffs against Seattle, and then they would the Bucks would just have like a clean sweep to the Super Bowl.
Bro,
because
literally, yes, literally, I can see it. Let's say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers make it to the playoffs 8 and 9, and then they go up against and then Brady will go up against Heineke or Geno Smith.
Heineke almost beat him last year.
in the
Heineke will beat
championship.
him this year.
That's one reason I can't count the Commanders out. Is just because Heineke just has some type of magic to him. Like
He wants them shoes.
Oh
And their
yeah,
defense-
I don't count him out either.
I mean, and
But
their
I just
defense
don't-
is putting on even without Chase Young, and he should be back in the next
Right.
couple weeks.
But all I'm saying is every time you think Tom Brady is not gonna do something, he goes to the Super Bowl. So you can't count him out either.
Very valid. Very valid. Well, we appreciate you for listening. Appreciate you all for listening to
This rant, really.
this rant, about Baker Mayfield. Let us know how you feel about it, man. I've already said my opinions. But yeah, let me know how you feel about Baker Mayfield and where he's gonna go and end up. Thank y'all for joining. Oronde, Freddie, Matt, Kaden, thanks for joining. My name is Davion. This has been the post game. Peace.